when the road gets dark and you can no longer see, just let my love throw a spark and have a little faith in me. When the tears you cry.
Thanks to the magic of modern technology, I can speak to this group of our dearest friends and family members without bursting into tears. Thank God for that. Thank you for joining us at Cal's 50th surprise birthday party. Let's hope it truly was a surprise. I met Cal during the summer of 1986 at where else but a CB softball game. It was at that time that Cal told me that having a relationship wasn't in his top 17 priorities. But here we are, over 20 years later. Cal, I love you so much. You are an amazing husband and father. Happy birthday.
One thing I love about Cal is that he's the perfect role model. You can easily learn from his mistakes. His horrible mistakes.
A reason I love Dad is because he's always introducing us to very new and somewhat strange things. From shooting to fishing, he's always showing us the best of what he knows.
Yeah, the best and the worst of what he knows. Another thing I love about Cal is that he's completely spontaneous. 1 minute says, I'll be home at 5. It's 10 at night, he's not home yet. We love Dad so much, but there's only one problem.
What?
There are more people that love Dad.
Remember when we had them all on the run, and the night we saw the midnight sun. Remember saying things like we'll sleep when we're dead, and thinking this feeling was never gonna end. Remember when we had them all on the run, and the night we saw the midnight sun. Remember saying things like we'll sleep when we're dead, and thinking this feeling was never gonna end. Remember that night you were already in bed, said fuck it, got up to drink with me instead. Give me that naked new skin rush, get me under us. Give me that you and me the great trust, give me under us.
I met Dad when the doctor pushed him out of the way, so they cut the umbilical cord or whatever it's called, and it looked pretty weird from my standpoint.
My name is Ryan. I'm my dad's son. Some of the reasons I love my dad are, one, because of his great taste in music. He's always finding me great new music to listen to, from his best of just music I love. I also love how he's always having his friends over. He has a lot of awesome friends, and he's always introducing me to more and more of them.
I would describe Dad in 3 words, but complete party animal.
You know, my son-in-law, Cal, he's a really great guy. But you know who is super great? Dan Maslowski.
Uh-oh. Look who's calling. I didn't even plan it. It's Mazzy. Let's see. Mazzy, I'm doing my interview right now.
Cal, you've heard that sigh many times since I've known you. It's very appropriate that I'm doing this on a Friday morning because on many Friday mornings since I've known you, I'm very hungover, and this Friday is no exception. And by last count, so I've known you about 30 years, that makes about almost 1,400 Fridays that I have been hungover thanks to you.
Can I get one of those Bacardi and Cokes like Cal drinks? Oh yeah, perfect, just like he drinks.
When did I first meet Cal? Well, that was such a long time ago, I don't exactly remember the exact date. But I think it was around 1990. I met Cal through my best friend Maz, who knew Cal through the real estate community.
Cal and I kind of came up together in the real estate business and had a lot of good times together as roommates, golf mates, travel mates, deal mates, playmates, etc. And really gotten to know him and enjoy the kind of person he is. He's been a pretty good friend with our Cubs ticket program, even though he's always a late pay and never trades the good games. But we'll leave him around for a while longer.
In 1978, I met him at the Dairy Queen at Lake Road, right by Loyola Academy. Cal was working behind the counter as part of a Glenbrook South vocational training program and career placement job, and he did really well. He spent a lot of time, eating some of the proceeds, but it really worked out as a great introduction.
We met at Sigma Alpha Epsilon. When I first met you, I could tell you were a cool guy. You were into music, as was I, and we were fortunate to be roomed together with Al in room 9 at the SE house.
So Cal and I met in 1980. What do I think of when I think of Cal Wessman? Well, what did I think of when I first met him? Well, I believe there's a force in nature that brings mutants together and that they will eventually find each other in some point in their life. And I felt the force as soon as I met Cal. I knew this is a guy I want to hang out with for a while.
The first question, how I met Cal, was at CBRE in 1988. We've enjoyed 24 years at the company together.
I met him in the fall of 1981 down in Champaign as an SAE.
I'm going to start by answering the first question. When did you meet Cal? Well, I hate to say this from his family, but we were in prison together. We had a short love affair.
So there'll be no mention about certain past occurrences in your life, no mention of Bangkok, midgets, your experimental phase, your second family, your second experimental phase, knowing way too much about the Sandusky case. Instead, I give to you, Cal Wessman, my redacted PG-13 memories of you.
Audrey was very smart to give us very specific instructions about what questions we were allowed to answer, so very wise, Audrey. And I'll just dive right in. The first was, where did I meet Cal? I met Cal when he pledged as a freshman at our fraternity at the University of Illinois in the spring of 1953, I think, and I've been good buddies with him ever since.
Cal's a great guy. I've known him for a number of years. He's got a great wife, great family, great values. I enjoy our verbal sparring, emailing back and forth. I'm always interested in some of his misguided objections and ideas, but he's really just a great guy.
Who can forget those great happy hours at Elliot's Nest on Fridays, post-work, breaking the shot record and then breaking it again. I think it was 728 shots in one 3-hour session. Those are just great times. And that's right around the time where I think we coined the nickname Baby Head.
One of the highlights of our formative years was when you and I got the great idea that we would buy a townhouse condo together that had a hot tub in the living room. And I'll never forget the looks on our now wives, Susan and Audrey's lovely faces. And I think the way your wife succinctly put it, you either need to choose Maz in the hot tub or me. And you wisely chose Audrey, as we all know.
Hi, my name is Lynn, and I am Cal's younger sister and only sibling. And if you can imagine, growing up with Cal was quite an adventure, as he was, I guess you would say, extremely mischievous.
I would say salesperson. I mean, typically something Cal would say would be like, if I could save you 20% or more on your office lease, would you have a time next week to meet? So that would be the first one. The second would be egg white omelet connoisseur. And the third would be the steak master.
Well, obviously talented. He's a great musician, great real estate broker. Slick Willie-ish. He kind of reminds me a lot of former President Clinton and a lot of his politics and views. Obama-tastic, obviously. And if there was a word for the political beliefs between socialist and communist, I think that would fit Cal to a T.
What are the words that come to mind when I think of Cal? Well, one, certainly grog, right? Number two is balance. I mean, Cal's got to be one of the most balanced guys in terms of being able to balance his personal life and his work life and his family life. And the third is fire up, even though that's two words, but you know, the overwhelming enthusiasm that Cal Wessman always has.
3 words that best describe Cal. Very lucky to have Audrey in his life. If he didn't have Audrey, he'd be clearly living in a van down by the river. There's no doubt about that. We used to call him B-side in the band. I'm going to talk about the band, but Cal would never let us play a song that anybody ever heard of. It always had to be a B-side. So you want to play a hit, I'll flip it over, we're going to play the other side of it. So we were a cover band playing songs that everybody thought were ours. So maybe he was genius, we were frustrated. I don't know if anybody has said moody. Moody's a really good word for Cal, I think.
Wow. 3 words to best describe Cal. I'm going to go with very friendly, very reliable, and very entertaining.
I got 4 words. Firstly, Cal is immensely considerate. Secondly, he's very loyal. Thirdly, he's an incredibly talented guy. Cal is the only guy I know that can do Dave Coit doing Dave Venkus doing Dick Vitale. Very impressive, talented guy. Obviously, founding member of Mad Cow. Cal, I don't know how you kept it going all these years. You make me feel like Pete Best. So we got considerate, we got loyal, we got talented, and finally, dude, you are thoroughly depraved, but in a very tasteful, understated sort of way, which is nice.
Yeah, 3 words. Cal is intelligent, funny, thoughtful, caring, loyal. I don't know. It would be hard to limit it to 3 words. He's just a really good friend.
Very funny, engaging, a little diabolical.
Fun and cheerful, and Cal.
Cal, so excited to be here. Really glad to be part of the 50th celebration. And, I've been thinking about you a lot this year, at this grand moment. And as I thought about you this year, I thought, reflected upon a lot of memories. And all of a sudden, I started seeing you all throughout our society. You seem to have touched us in so many different ways.
Well, happy birthday, Cal. Taking a page from my husband, who is a pro at Top 10 lists, I thought I'd try my own. So here goes the top 10 things I love about Cal. Number 10, he always let me be the third wheel without totally making me feel like the third wheel.
But when we went out for drinks, clearly I realized you had no arms because you never could reach your wallet, Cal. I don't know if you've ever bought me a beer.
Well, I spend about 40 hours a week with the guy, and aside from work and dominating at CB, we have a freaking great time. Cubs games, steakhouses, good times, events, golf. It's fantastic. It's a great man.
Number 9, he gave me advice like that older brother I never had and still didn't listen to.
I was watching TV the other day, and all of a sudden I looked at the TV and I thought, my gosh, there he is again. Paulie D. Cal, out there with the people, moving the social scene. Many people would know you in that face.
Number 8, he had fun apartments, like the one on Sheffield where we dropped stuff down on people, and I don't remember what else.
You guys continued to be slobs in post-college. You and Al were awful. The garbage that was piling up over the course of the 2 years, I don't think you guys washed one dish in 2 years, and it was just, pile would go higher and higher. It was amazing that pile did not fall over. You guys, it's like the Cirque du Soleil of dirty dishes.
Number 7, he had air conditioning in his apartment during that sweltering summer of 1988. Number 6, he introduced me to music like Sean Colvin, John Hyatt, and Mad Cow.
Pitchfork, the Abbey Pub, Lollapalooza, Chicago Theater, Aragon Ballroom, Park West, Doubledore, Shuba's, Empty Bottle, Bernie's, Gingerman.
Now that I know him, I should expect him to maybe have a mohawk and a guitar in his hand when he walked through the door.
Okay, the number 5 reason. Speaking of music, the Replacements. He got me into a party with Paul Westerberg and Tommy Stinson. Oh, wait a minute. I think I got him in there.
PJ Clark's, PJ Clark's, PJ Clark's.
Number 4. He let me hang out on their hotel room floor while we were in France.
Fulton's on the River, Smith & Walensky, South Branch, Players Club, Cock Door, Stanley's, Galway Arms, U.S. Beer Company, High Top, Small Bar.
Number 3. He dubbed me the human compass while we were in France, even though these days I can't even find my keys.
Dick's Last Resort, Bandera, Sushi Samba Rio, Z451, Epic, The Metro, Sunda, Bull and Bear, Madame Tartine, Black Duck, Zella, Sidebar Grill, Coogan's, Cactus, Paris Club, Cub 51, Hubbard Inn, Mastro's, Fleming, Rocket, O'Shaughnessy's, O'Callahan's, Keith.
Number 2. He introduced me to all his friends.
Guy Ride Tap, the Four Moon Tavern, the Riverview Tavern, Mulligan's Public House, and the entire Chicago Pedway system.
And the number 1 reason why I love Cal is that through it all, he still let me hang out with my best friend, Audrey. Thanks, Cal. Happy birthday. We love you.
I was watching Jay-Z, and I thought about this guy. He's got somewhat of a musical career. He's got a beautiful wife. And I look at him, and I don't get it. And then I thought of you, Cal. I don't know why. I was watching Caddyshack the other day, and I was watching Judge Smales, and all of a sudden it came clear. You are Judge Smales. What do you think, Cal? I look at Donald Trump, and all I see is you, Cal. You're the king of the business. You're the real deal maker. And I will always, always, always respect your ability to argue and make the point you want to make. You know, sometimes you stutter, you do the Sometimes you go, whoa, Mr. Dempsey, you got a big point today, don't you?
Every night, when I would go to sleep, a couple times a week, I would actually hear voices. And these voices would torment me. This continued for a couple times a week, probably for well over a year. So one day, my mom actually figured out what was going on. Cal had been crawling into the crawl space in the storage cabinets behind my bed before I would go to sleep, and he would be doing the voices, and then as soon as I would run downstairs, he would sneak out of my room.
You, I think as I've said many times, Cal, we've probably forgotten more good times than most people have ever had in their lives. And you're my boy. You're my musical guidepost. You gave me my opportunity in the rock world, and I'll never forget you for that. And here's to many, many more years, and look forward to spending the next half century with you. And now I'm going to go take a nap in Millennium Park.
I was looking up some quotes on friendship, and there was a quote from Cicero, and it said, "Friendship is given by nature to assist in virtue, not a companion in vice." And to some degree, actually, Cal's been probably a little bit of both. We've had a lot of good times over the years, and I love him like a brother, and I want to wish him a happy 50th birthday.
But anyway, Cal, it's been a great couple of decades getting to know you. I love to watch you and your hobbies and your newfound talents in wine drinking and wine buying and gun buying, car buying, and I hope we have many more good years together. So I look forward to it. Have a great birthday. You know, when you turn 50, a lot of special things happen. But anyway, I hope you can walk many years together again, and hope to see you later on for a shot and a little one and go. Happy birthday.
Seriously, Cal, happy 50th. I didn't think you'd live to be 40, but now I've had 10 years to call you a friend, and in 10 years still not to get you up to visit us in Lake Forest. Happy birthday.
Happy 50th. Wow. I mean, I'm surprised you're that young. It's been great to get to know you, and looking forward to being friends for years to come.
So all joking around aside, you've accomplished a great deal in 50 years. You're thoroughly overchicked. You got 2 great kids. You've had a great impact on all the people that you've come to know. So if anybody tells you that you're getting old, don't believe them. From the looks of things, I'd say you're deteriorating beautifully, and we're all looking forward to watching you decay further in the coming years. So congratulations, Cal, and happy 50th.
Most importantly, Cal, there's you. and you're one of the nicest guys, most sincere people I know. Great family man, great friend, funny, great to be with. I'm really appreciative of being here today and being a part of your birthday, and thanks for the opportunity. So hope you have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
That's from Wattage, Cal, to Vinsky, or also known as Mr. Hotel to Ryan and Andy. All right, take care, buddy.
Happy 50th, Cal. You're the man.
Cal, you are a great dad, an amazing friend, and definitely a one-of-a-kind brother. And I love you very much.
Hello, friends, and happy 50th birthday, Cal Wessman, a dandy of a gentleman. And you might be asking yourself, why am I choosing the word dandy to describe my good friend Cal? Well, I thought it would be fun to go back and find a word from his era that would best describe him. Perhaps not as a child, but as an adult, Cal has turned into a dandy of a gentleman. And let's take a look at the definition of dandy. Dandy is a man who is excessively concerned about his clothes or appearance. And while you may say, are we talking about the same Cal Wessman? I would tell you, or rather submit to you, that we are. Dandy, something or someone of exceptional or first-rate quality. I think, friends, by the fact you are here, other than the free meal and Audrey paying you to come, you would still have to say Cal is first-rate quality. The physical distinction. While dandyism can only be painted on a suitable canvas, it is impossible to cut a dandy figure without being tall, slender, and handsome, or having at least one of those characteristics to a high degree while remaining at least average in the other two. And while we know Cal is subpar in all three, he is still dandy and has become dandy, though it has been a long endeavor. So let's look at how dandy challenged he was as a child. This picture right here shows a disturbed child looking off into space. And what's truly disturbing is if you zoom in here, you will see it looks like he's popping a zit in the picture. Quite disturbing and not characteristic of a dandy. In this picture, we see what looks to be like a happy child. However, he is playing with perhaps two of the most repulsive toys that I've ever seen. Not dandy at all. Next, the Danny Bonaducci copycat haircut and ensemble. No one pulled off the sweater vest better than apparently Cal Wessman, who still wears them today, but this is far from dandy. Next, something terribly undandy would be a male or boy in a go-go shirt. Highly likely Cal was not seeing much action during this time of his life, hence the acne on the face. But Cal, really? Go-go's? Anyway, here is where I believe there was a transition, the beginning of a transition, where we see a much cooler looking haircut. The acne is cleared up. High hopes of going to Harvard, which never came to fruition. But we're looking at a pretty handsome kid right here. Dandyism in its beginning stages. Now, who can sport a tuxedo like that and not be called dandy? Well, here is where he was about to go to full dandyism, but by the mere fact he didn't have a date for prom, as you can see the empty space, he still was not dandy. When did he become dandy? When he became a gentleman hunter. As you can see, here are some major important characteristics of being dandy as a gentleman. The tweed hat, the gun posed over the shoulder, the thumb in the upright position speaks nothing but dandyism. The roundish figure has become dandy for a man of that age. Tweeted knickers, dandy. Boots that are so fancy I can't even pronounce their name, of course, dandy. And the most dandy attribute Cal has is the cocked foot. You will notice in most pictures he cocks that foot. This, my friends, is a dandy. And how do I know what dandy is? Well, it takes one to know one. So, anyway, Cal, just messing around with these pictures. I didn't really have much to say. I saw some of these pictures as Audrey was sharing with me, and I thought I'd mess around with them. But truly, all jokes aside, you are a great friend. Somebody who always makes me happy. Whenever I'm down, all I have to do is text you something, rip on you, and you rip right back, and we end up laughing. And some of the childish things we do to mess with each other, you know, like the coffee cup. Anyway, you have really been a source of great fun and great friendship. And I'm so sorry I can't be there today. It was funny when this thing was being filmed, you thought your kids were at Great America on the rides, and I watched them practicing their lie about what ride they were on. And Audrey did a wonderful job putting this all together, and it's all for you and all your friends that march through my place. All adore you and love you, and I hope we do this when you're 60. I will wear pants, I promise you. Thank you, and good night. Sorry.
Testing.
Okay, good. Does it look really awkward?
And first, I want to compliment Audrey on, number one, putting this video together, but her excellent judgment not to allow open microphone at the main event.
Tony Smaniotto, S-M-A-N-I-O-T-T-O, Cook County Prisoner 605-B.
Problem. What? More than... Stop saying it like that. Don't you hear me? He's like, what?
Andy falls under pressure.
You see him? It's just like,
LeBron James
what?
on the stage.
Hey, didn't he just win it all? Didn't he just win it all? Yeah.
Today is September 15th, which is a very important day. It's the day the Wessman's Christmas card comes out. Every year I look at this card and I say, gee, these are your kids, Cal, definitely your kids. Either that or Audrey was fooling around with the Dutch boy.
I need all the support I can get.
My 3 words to describe Cal are young at heart, loyal, and total slob.
I looked up the word, and this is what I learned. Dandy.
As you probably recall, you made 100 consecutive free throws with the nerf hoop in our family room. And I know you were quite proud of that, but I think it took you about 2 months to figure out that that was not a good pickup line at the bar. So
You botched it, Andy.
You're the one that botched it.
Dad's gonna be angry now. You ruined his surprise party.
I'm not sure why I'm here talking about a creepy man that I don't know with a big head. Oh, for $25, you're the nicest man I've ever met, even though you do have a big head. You're really great. Go New Trier.
You walk a lot slower. You, well, in your case, you never walk. So, if I recall, yesterday we had lunch. You picked me up so we can go to lunch, and the restaurant was in the same building. I don't understand that, and I guess you shouldn't really pressure you about it, but it's kind of silly that you don't walk much.
Well, we've beat the shit out of that joke.
Anecdotes about Cal. I mean, there's, oh my gosh. There'd be so many, but you're going back a ways here too. No, I guess I should have prepared a little bit more for that because I have to think about that one.
What am I supposed to do? I'm just supposed to talk about a creepy guy I didn't know? Or, okay.
Love Dad so much, but there's only one problem. What? Stop saying it like that!
$25? Oh, yeah, he's the greatest guy. I mean, I understand he has a big head, but he's really a nice guy.
Speaking of music, need I say more?
Can't really think of any stories. There's really nothing really to talk about because he's really kind of gets boring sometimes. Yeah, he is awesome. He parties a lot and stuff, but I get like none of the stories, so like I have nothing to talk about. It's completely boring.
As I was trying to articulate my friendship with Cal.
Too bad I left my beer on the counter. It's right there, in the corner.
With what?
Your bit.
My bit? Oh, I thought this was Q&A.
Yes,
Oh.
we'll have our argument.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries. I didn't realize I was preparing shtick.
And I thought that was part of your bit. It should be.
Okay. Yeah. So, can we lie?
Baby head is one of my favorites.
I was gonna get a cup of tea.